All right, our next question today comes from Dr. Sharona Goldenberg, who teaches law at the Netanya Academic College in Israel. Sharona is also the head of an academic organization created to fight BDS called the International Freedom of Research Center. She has a question regarding academic boycotts, and I'm sure her question will strike close to home for you.
Hi, Professor Dershowitz. My name is Aehroni-Goldenberg. I'm a law professor at Netanya Academic College and the founder of IFOR Center, which is a center of Israeli scholars who believe in academic freedom. As you may know, in recent years there have been calls to boycott Israeli academic institutions. And my question to you is, what is your stance regarding academic boycotts? Are they protected by freedom of speech, or do they constitute an infringement of the right to freedom of research? Thank you.
Thank you, Sharona. That's a great question. Not only are there efforts to create academic boycotts against Israeli institutions and Israeli individuals, they are already in effect, not structurally through any formal institutions, but we know that Israeli scholars are not being invited to various conferences. I've even been subject to the boycott. When Oxford University invited me to debate against BDS, the head of the BDS movement, Barkati, refused to debate me because he said, I'm part of the academic boycott. You may know that back several years ago, Nobel Prize winner in physics and I wrote a letter to academics saying that for purposes of any academic boycott, we want to declare ourselves to be Israeli academics. And we got thousands of people signing on to that letter to fight back. Of course, it's a violation of academic freedom. It's a violation of freedom of association, freedom of speech, freedom of research. It also does a tremendous amount of harm to research. Israeli scientists, Israeli academics have so much knowledge and can contribute so much to the world and through academic collaboration that I'm totally and completely against all academic boycotts, but particularly against those that apply a double standard. The same people who would boycott Israeli academics are anxious to work together with Chinese academics, with even North Korean academics, with Cuban academics, with Russian academics, with Belarusian academics. A single standard would require that the boycott apply to any country that violated certain norms of academic freedom, and Israel would be very, very, very low on that list. But the combination of academic boycott, which violates academic freedom, and selectively imposing it on a country that has more academic freedom than almost any country in the world, is simply anti-Semitic and bigoted and should be opposed on those grounds.
Now, Alan, I understand that you are considering honorary citizenship here in Israel. Why is that?
Well, a number of us have been talking about doing that. Evgeny Kissin, the great pianist, became a citizen of Israel solely for purposes of fighting against the BDS movement. There are those who are thinking about a whole movement toward honorary citizenship. A lawyer named Mr. Heidemann and his daughter in Israel are pushing that, and I'm supportive of it, and I'm part of it. And I think it would be very important to get thousands of academics and scientists and others to become honorary Israeli citizens to make the point that if you boycott Israel, you boycott us. And I think it would be a very good point to show solidarity. We are with you. We are with Israeli academics. Of course, there are some Israeli academics at Tel Aviv University and at Ben Gurion and other places who themselves support academic boycotts against Israel, even though they're Israeli academics. And they too have the right to express their bigoted views in public, and we have the right to call them bigoted and to expose them for the foolishness and denial of academic freedom that they represent.
Well, thank you so much, Alan. That's all the time we have for today. I also want to thank all of our guests, especially Knesset member Avraham Negosa. If you'd like Professor Dershowitz to answer your questions, go to iltv.tv or our Facebook page and submit them. We'll see you again next week.
And Natasha, may I take 1 second at the end of the show just to convey my condolences to you on the loss of your grandfather, who was a great man, Dr. Katz, who was a very important psychopharmacologist. You should be very proud of what he left the world behind, and I hope you are comforted with good memories of him. I know you were with him in his last days and hours, and I want to just convey my most sincere condolences and my wishes for him to be long remembered for the great work he's done throughout the world.
Thank you so much, Professor. It means the world to me.